Hello, my name is Rebecca and I teach English using a method called Comprehensible Input, which is whenever I talk slowly and clearly so that you can understand, and I use a lot of pictures and gestures so that you can understand. And my cat is joining me today. So this is Georgie, and he keeps knocking over the camera. I cannot get rid of him. He is following me everywhere I go. So he might join us today. In today's video, I am back in Ireland. You might notice that it is very green around me. It's very green and I'm wearing a jumper and it's cloudy. My cat is knocking over my camera. It is cloudy outside and cold. So it is June. It was the longest day of the year the other day. So in Ireland, the longest day of the year means we get a lot of sunlight, and it gets dark at around 11 o'clock at night and it gets bright at around 5 a.m. So there's only about 6 hours of darkness, and the days are really long. So I really like that the days are long in Ireland during June. In today's video, I am going to compare or talk about living in countryside, city and town. And this is what it's like to live in the countryside, is that you have animals that won't leave you alone. I have lived in the countryside and I have lived in different towns. I've actually never lived in a city. I've never lived in a city, but I've visited a lot of cities. So I'm going to talk about good things and bad things about all of them. First of all, my cat. Look, I put him down, and then he just gets back up. So there's no point of me trying to move him. He's got a lot of hair that is itchy. His hair is causes me itchiness. So we're in the countryside at the minute. So let's talk about the countryside first. So in Ireland, a lot of people live in the countryside, which means people live next to a lot of fields, green fields. And in the fields, there are lots of farm animals. So Ireland is really big into farming, and it mainly farms cows or cattle. So it has a lot of beef. That's the whiskers. It has a lot of beef and it has a lot of milk. So a lot of beef and milk farming. And in most fields, you will see beef and cows. Then it has a lot of sheep, but the sheep are kind of in the mountain areas. They're in places like Donegal or Wexford or Mayo. So the sheep kind of stay in the mountainous area because sheep don't need as much grass, I guess. So there's wool. The wool is used, and then there are a lot of chickens, but the chickens are usually inside the shed, so you don't really see the chickens in the countryside. So what I like about the countryside is the green. I love just seeing green everywhere, not seeing any cars or pollution or millions of people. I love that you're kind of private. It's very private in the countryside is very private. There's not a lot of people and the air is really fresh. The air is so clean and fresh. And I just like to go for walks and see nature, see different animals. You always see different animals, cats, dogs, farm animals, birds. So that's my favorite thing about the countryside. Next is living in a town. So a town is, and I pronounce town really weird for a lot of people because I have an Irish accent or a Northern Irish accent, and we pronounce O-W-O, town. English accent would say town. I said town. So I have lived in a lot of towns. I lived in a town in university, and whenever I lived in Spain, I lived in a little pueblo. I really like towns because you can walk everywhere. It's not too big. You don't have to really get public transport because everything is in the town square. So you don't need to really get metros or buses. You can walk or cycle. But it still has everything. It has all the shops like Tesco. It has sports clubs and has bars, clubs. So the town is good as well. It's good to live near a town so that you don't have to drive always to go to the shops. Because when you live in the countryside, you always have to drive your car into the shops. Next is cities, massive big cities like Dublin, London, Paris, New York, Madrid, Malaga. Cities are huge. I've never lived in a city. I don't think I would like to live in a city. Anytime that I visit a city, I always only want to go for like 2 or 3 days or maximum a week because it gets very busy. Too many people for me. I don't like that you have to get the bus or the metro or the train everywhere. You can't walk or it's too far to walk a lot of the time. And people are really rude in their cars and are beeping the horn all the time. So that's what I don't like about the city. Also, there's a lot of pollution in the city. But what I love about the city is the choice. You get so much choice of restaurants and food and ice cream and pubs and clothes. You can go clothes shopping. So the city has everything. The city never sleeps. So I really like that the city, you can visit the city. And I have been to a lot of cities within Europe, just within Europe. Within Spain, I traveled a lot of cities in Spain, and my favorite city in Spain is Malaga. Now, the reason that I love Malaga is because it is quite a small city. You can walk everywhere. There's no cars within the city. You don't need to get a metro or a bus within the city. It's got the beach. The main thing is the beach. I love the beach. So I love a city that has a beach. So Malaga or Alicante or, I don't know, in France, Marseille or something like that, Nice. So a city to me needs to have a beach because you need to like get space. You need to go to the ocean or the sea to get space away from all the people. So my favorite city is Malaga. Also, I just love the architecture, the buildings. It's got delicious Spanish food, ice cream, best ice cream ever. So I would like maybe to live in Malaga. I wouldn't mind because it's kind of a smaller city. I could not live in a big city. I could not live in Paris or Barcelona or something too big, or New York. No way. But overall, my favorite, I would love to settle in the countryside, especially in Ireland. It's really beautiful. There's lots of green. So let me know if you live in countryside, town, or city. And if you live in the countryside, do you live like by the beach, mountains, fields? Where do you live in the countryside? So tell me about where you live and if you like it or if you don't like it. What do you prefer? Do you prefer town? Or do you prefer countryside where there's lots of space? Do you prefer city where it has everything, or a town where it kind of has a little bit of both? If you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. I do have lots of other videos that you can learn English with me. Also, I have a Comprehensible Input course, so you can buy my course here. There's a link here, and I also teach private lessons. So if you would like a private lesson, then you can email me or click this link to see more details. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to now go for a walk in the countryside. He has relaxed. Psh, psh, psh. Look at his eyes. He's relaxing. And I've got the swing. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned lots of English, and I'll see you next week. Bye. I post every Wednesday. So you'll see my video on Wednesdays.